What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Roger Report. Get ready, because we've got a whirlwind of NFL action coming your way. First up, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their surprising struggles on offense, specifically how a key playmaker is being completely ignored. Next, we're diving into the career of a true NFL legend, Aaron Rodgers, and exploring the one major stain on his otherwise GOAT-level resume. It's a legacy that sparks debate every single season. Then, we're sticking with the Steelers' offense to figure out if they're leaning too heavily on Aaron Rodgers, and why their current strategies just aren't working, leaving fans questioning everything. And finally, we're tackling whether the Steelers' defensive issues stem from a new, aggressive plan, and if Aaron Rodgers' red zone success is the real deal or just a mirage. Stick around for all the details and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Steelers playmaker ghosted. The Roman Wilson mystery unfolds. The Pittsburgh Steelers kicked off their 2025 season with championship aspirations, a familiar tune under Mike Tomlin. With Aaron Rodgers at the helm and high-profile additions like DK Metcalf and Jonnu Smith, expectations were through the roof. Yet, as Week 4 approaches, the biggest question isn't about the star power on the field, but about a player who's been conspicuously absent: Roman Wilson. Wilson, a second-year wide receiver, was a major off-season talking point, lauded for his camp performance and versatility. He was pegged as an X-factor for Arthur Smith's offense, but so far, he's been virtually invisible. Through 3 games, his stat line is a shocking 1 catch for 7 yards. For a player expected to be a key part of the Steelers' offensive future, this silence is deafening. The Steelers' offense itself has been a mixed bag, even with Rodgers. While there are flashes of brilliance from Rodgers and Metcalf, consistency has been elusive. Pittsburgh sits at 2-1, but the offense often feels like it's being held together with duct tape rather than running smoothly. This is precisely why Wilson's lack of involvement is so perplexing. Rodgers has a history of elevating receivers, especially those who can operate effectively in the slot and keep drives alive, a role Wilson seemed destined to fill. Is it a lack of trust from the coaching staff? Is Wilson still adapting to the NFL's pace? Or is he simply lost in the shuffle of a talented receiver group? Regardless of the reason, the Steelers can't afford to let a promising talent go undeveloped. Their Super Bowl ambitions require every weapon at their disposal. Relying solely on Rodgers and Metcalf isn't a sustainable long-term strategy, especially with defenses inevitably making adjustments and injuries always a threat. There's still time for Wilson to carve out a significant role, and many expect Arthur Smith to make a concerted effort to involve him more. However, if he remains an afterthought by midseason, tougher decisions about his future with the team might be necessary. For now, fans are left bewildered by the disconnect between the preseason hype and Roman Wilson's current invisibility. In Pittsburgh, ghosts don't win Lombardi trophies. And that's just one of the head-scratching storylines surrounding the Steelers this season. But what about the man orchestrating it all? We're about to unpack Aaron Rodgers' incredible career and the one glaring omission from his otherwise legendary resume. Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT quarterback with 1 Super Bowl shadow. Aaron Rodgers is undeniably one of the most talented quarterbacks in NFL history, a player whose arm talent has drawn comparisons to the best ever. Yet, despite 4 MVP awards and a reputation for precision, his legacy is often defined by a single Super Bowl victory. Rodgers' journey began with a draft day slide, falling to the 24th pick after being projected much higher. He landed with the Green Bay Packers, where he spent 18 seasons, eventually leading them to a Super Bowl XLV triumph over the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2010. This championship, coupled with his remarkable regular season statistics, cemented his status as an elite quarterback. His 2011 season, in particular, was a statistical masterpiece, earning him an MVP award with over 4,500 yards and 45 touchdowns. However, that dominant 2011 season ended in playoff heartbreak, a stunning home loss to the New York Giants. This pattern of regular season dominance followed by postseason disappointment became a recurring theme, fueling the ongoing debate about what truly defines greatness: statistics or championships. While Rodgers possesses the arm talent and skill to rival any quarterback, Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowl rings often place him atop the GOAT conversation. Now, in what is widely believed to be his final NFL season, Rodgers is back with the Pittsburgh Steelers, aiming to deliver a Super Bowl title to a franchise starved for success. This potential fairytale ending to his career adds another layer to his already compelling narrative. Regardless of whether he secures a second ring, Rodgers' impact on the game is undeniable. He's a master of the craft, a player who redefined quarterback play, but the question of what if regarding more championships lingers. As Rodgers navigates what feels like a farewell tour, his career remains a captivating subject. It's a story filled with unparalleled talent, individual accolades, and the persistent question of whether his career achievements could have culminated in more ultimate team success. His every snap is scrutinized, his legacy debated, and the possibility of a storybook ending keeps fans engaged. And speaking of the Steelers' offense, the debate rages on about how they're utilizing their talent. Is Aaron Rodgers the solution or part of the problem? We're breaking down the offensive scheme that's leaving fans and analysts baffled. Steelers' offense. Is Aaron Rodgers being overburdened? The Pittsburgh Steelers secured a narrow 21-14 victory over the New England Patriots, but the offensive performance raised significant concerns. Despite a decent first half, the unit stalled for much of the game, only managing to retake the lead with a late touchdown. Even with the defense forcing 5 turnovers, the offense capitalized on just 2 of those opportunities. The core issues are glaring as Week 4 approaches: a non-existent run game and a passing attack that, outside of Week 1, has lacked consistency and creativity. The offense looked listless, a familiar sight for Steelers fans in recent years. This persistent struggle suggests that a run-first philosophy simply isn't working for this team. Steelers' passing attack appears severely limited, lacking imaginative concepts or variety. While Week 1 showcased explosive plays born from clever scheming, that spark has since vanished. Several factors could be at play. Perhaps offensive coordinator Arthur Smith doubts the offensive line's ability to protect, or maybe he perceives Rodgers as diminished at this stage of his career. Alternatively, Smith might simply be unsure how to best deploy his personnel. Regardless of the cause, relying solely on passes at or behind the line of scrimmage is unsustainable in the NFL. The middle and intermediate areas of the field must be incorporated into the game plan. While Rodgers may not possess his former athleticism, his arm remains elite and capable of executing all necessary throws. Week 1 offered a glimpse of what works, using play action and the pass to effectively set up the run. This balanced approach proved efficient, a stark contrast to the current ineffective run-heavy strategy. To generate more scoring opportunities, the Steelers must open up their passing game and allow Rodgers to operate. Personnel usage is another significant problem. DK Metcalf, despite his massive contract, is often relegated to quick passes instead of being utilized as a deep threat or in contested situations. Calvin Austin, one of the team's fastest players, isn't being stretched vertically or put in space for run-after-catch opportunities. Jonnu Smith, acquired for his YAC ability, is being wasted on screen passes. These are dynamic playmakers being used in restrictive ways. Arthur Smith's commitment to a physical, run-heavy style seems at odds with the team's personnel and offensive line capabilities. Forcing a ground attack that consistently fails only leaves the offense in difficult down-and-distance situations. This stubbornness needs to end. The Steelers cannot achieve success without complementary football, and that starts with a functional passing game. The fundamental question arises: what is the purpose of having Aaron Rodgers if the offense isn't built around a legitimate passing attack that leverages his skills? But is the offense the only area facing questions? We're turning our attention to the defense and exploring whether a new, aggressive approach is paying off or creating new problems, and whether Rodgers' red zone success is sustainable. Steelers defense, aggression or accident, Rodgers' red zone luck. As the Pittsburgh Steelers navigate the 2025 season, questions are swirling around both sides of the ball. While the offense grapples with identity issues and play-calling debates, the defense is also under scrutiny, particularly regarding a potential shift to a more aggressive scheme. Is this new approach leading to success, or is it creating vulnerabilities that opponents can exploit? Early indications suggest a mixed bag. While aggression can lead to turnovers and game-changing plays, it can also leave a defense exposed to big plays if not executed flawlessly. Fans and analysts are dissecting the tape, trying to determine if the Steelers' defensive successes are a result of strategic brilliance or simply capitalizing on opponent mistakes. The effectiveness of this new defensive identity is crucial for the team's overall performance. Meanwhile, the conversation around Aaron Rodgers continues, especially in the red zone. His ability to make clutch throws under pressure is legendary, but is his recent red zone success a sign of true offensive resurgence or a mirage? With defenses tightening up and playoff hopes on the line, the Steelers need consistent, reliable scoring. Understanding whether Rodgers' red zone prowess is sustainable is key to predicting their success. This ongoing analysis highlights the critical junctures the Steelers face. Their ability to refine their offensive strategy, find consistency, and ensure their defensive plan is both effective and sustainable will determine the trajectory of their season. The interplay between Rodgers' performance, the offensive scheme, and the defense's execution will be closely watched. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive for today. We've covered a lot of ground, from overlooked playmakers to legendary careers and strategic debates. But before you go, let's do a quick recap of the biggest stories we hit today. That's all for today's packed episode of the Rodger Report. We dove into the Steelers' offensive mysteries with Roman Wilson's lack of involvement, explored Aaron Rodgers' incredible career and that lone Super Bowl stain, dissected the Steelers' offensive struggles and reliance on Rodgers, and questioned the effectiveness of their new defensive approach. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to the Rodger Report for all your latest NFL insights, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Follow us on all social media platforms to join the conversation and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you next time.